If a friend asked me, should I buy a Hobonichi Cousin? This is the conversation I would have with them. I've been using the Cousin for several months now, and I want to share with you what I love about it, what surprised me, and the things I wish I had known before buying one. Hi everyone, let's start out with why I chose the Hobonichi planner. The big reason is it is not just a planner, but it's also a journal system, or it can be. I'm going to talk a lot about that, the flexibility of it. But that was the big selling point for me. You've got your monthly, which this is a monthly spread, and I'll go more into detail on that. You've got a weekly vertical spread as well. And then you have daily pages as well. And again, I'll go into more detail. So those are three sections that serve completely different purposes. And then also the structure is here, both for the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, but you don't have to use it that tightly. You can flex it to use it how you see fit and what fits your life. So that is a big selling point to me. So you can keep it as straightforward and productive or as creative as you want. And that matters a lot to me because every day is not the same. While we're here, let's start with the monthly spreads and what is great about this. This section I use for future planning. And so at the beginning of the month or just before the month starts, I sit down and lay out every appointment that I didn't already have in here. And then I also put down my to-dos for the month. For me, whether or not I'm journaling, I'm tracking that here. Again, everyone can use this the way that they want to. And then any big things that I need to remember, whether it's appointments, releases, payday, bill pays, you know, all those kind of things that you just don't want to forget. But I want to flip ahead a couple of months to one that is completely blank so that you can see what this looks like. So you've got a large area here that you can customize. You can put to-dos, habit trackers, basically anything that you want to track for the month. And then you have your month calendar already laid out. And this is one of the points I want to make, and this applies to all of the sections of the Hobonichi Cousin. You do not have to do all the work to set up the layout, but you can customize it to look however you want. And I think that is the big thing here. So I'll flip through a few of the months just to show you what they look like. Like this month, I set up my to-dos, but I didn't have any to-dos. And then other months, I have the to-dos, I've got the appointments, and you can use, you know, sticker kits or embellishments, but you can always just keep it straightforward and just put in your appointments. And I'll be honest, I don't spend a lot of time in the month section, but I wouldn't want to not have it because it is important to reference back to. I do come here each week when I set up my weekly spread to see what appointments, or if I'm about to make a new appointment, so I see where I have time to make those appointments. And so then I'm going to move over to the weekly section. So the weekly section is your planning hub. This is the meat of the Hobonichi Cousin, in my opinion. I would say this is where I spend the bulk of my time, which you would think would be on the daily with the journaling. But no, this is really my go-to right here. So again, before the week starts, I set up my plan. I put in known appointments at the time slot that I know about them. I set up my to-do list with items that are like rolling over from the previous week that I did not get to. I set up my habit trackers, and for me, I set up currently reading. That's completely up to you. All of this is optional. That's what's so great about it. I keep coming back to that point, but that is the beauty of this system. You are not locked into one way of doing things. Now, if you're going to create a bullet journal or Bujo or any type of self-created system, you're going to spend a lot of time drawing the grids, both for the monthly, for the weekly, whether you do a horizontal or vertical. Clearly, this is a vertical layout, and it is marked hour by hour, but you do not have to use it that way, and I'll show you how I'm using it because I don't block out every single hour of every single day. But if you do need that level of granularity, it is already here for you. And I think, again, that's the plus, is the ability to customize. So this is a week sort of before the pen, meaning I've laid it out, but I have not started using it yet. And this is a completed week when I have completely finished. So at the beginning of the week, it looked much like this. And at the end of the week, it looks like this, smudges and all. This is real life planning. This is not staged, you know, for filming or anything. This, like I said, this is if a friend came and said, you know, should I buy this? So just to give you a real world example, there are my to-do lists. There's my habit tracking. There's my reading, gave a review, started the next book. This is the daily weather. I use a little stamp. I believe I got this off JetPens. It's a little self-inking stamp with Snoopy to track the weather. And then what I do, I'm a big fan of the Coffee Monsters Co., Hubman and Chub Girl, and clearly the Cat Collage Club. You do not need these, but if you do like using stickers, there's some fun options, but you don't need them. You could literally just do the writing part. You can also do time blocking. As you can see, I do a mix. If something takes a few hours, I will use the time blocking because otherwise it's just empty. Otherwise, for me, I like to put a little sticker that has to do with it. That's just because it's fun for me. It's not necessary. And then I put what we actually did or what I actually did. And this has worked out really well for me, but I've not always done exactly the same thing every week. So I'll go through a few weeklies so you get the idea. I do currently stamp across the bottom and then put in what we're having for dinner for meal planning here. That's another planning. So again, you see what it looks like before I do the meal planning and then after. And I didn't have a sticker for a shrimp at this time, so I doodled a little shrimp. But you know, this week was light on to-dos. It wasn't a light week, it was just light on to-dos. And so this is sort of the way it looks. And so far, all of the things you've seen so far in here are not sticker kits, but I also do have some sticker kits. This is a sticker kit from Sweet Kawaii Design. This is a sticker kit from Hubman and Chub Girl. So to add on to the Hobonichi Cousin, if you do not want to sort of figure out how to decorate it, if you would just like something that's much more straightforward, this is also a sticker kit with some added embellishments. There are kits out there from so many different vendors, and that's another thing that's great about the Hobonichi Cousin. It's been around a while, and so there are a lot of vendors that make products for it, not just Hobonichi themselves, but a lot of other designers make things for the Hobonichi Cousin. I flipped back several weeks to show you another way you can use it. At this point, I was doing a little bit of a combination of almost bullet journal type check off different items each day. So I was preloading that I was going to do cardio and exercise and checking those off. I don't think I had added them to my tracker at that point, which is part of the reason I dropped this. And then I was doing the big blocks of time for the different items and less of the granular. I have found now that I actually enjoy just doing the granular level and only doing the time blocking. That's, again, the flexibility. You can do whatever works for you. I'm going to flip through a few more of my weekly spreads just to, again, give you an idea of the variety that you can do and how you can use it and how I have used it in real life. I also wanted to mention I have a lot of Plan With Me videos already on the channel on the Hobonichi Cousin. And so you can just go to my channel page to look at those. And I will, of course, have future Plan With Me's as well. So if you were looking for how to lay these out, ideas, inspiration, or if you're totally new to the Hobonichi and you just want to get a feel for how to lay your spreads out, I definitely have a bunch of Plan With Me videos available to you. If you're finding this video helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. That helps other people find the video, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more like this, as well as more Plan With Me's and other information about the Hobonichi Cousin, definitely hit that subscribe button, and that way you won't miss anything new. Let's talk about the daily pages. I think this might be, ironically, the most controversial and greatest part of the Hobonichi Cousin, and I'll explain why I said that. So these are a couple of just, I guess you could call it journaling, creative journaling. It doesn't matter to me what label you put on it. I want to mention the pages are dated, and that's part of the controversy. Some people feel a lot of pressure to put something here every single day. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. So just let go of that pressure. It is here for you. It is not something that you have to do. And so I want to show you a blank page. So let me flip ahead a little bit so I can get to a blank page so you can see what it looks like here. And so you've got the date, you've got the time blocking. Again, it's not every hour of the day, but you've got a lot of the time blocking here. And so you can use this however you want to. And you can use it just like it is. You can brainstorm, you can make lists, you can brain dump. You can also do journaling in the classic sense. You can do memory keeping. there are so many options. I actually have an entire video dedicated to 6 different ways to use the Hobonichi Cousin daily pages, and I will link to that at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. This is another example of how to use it, is sort of using this as a checklist. I didn't use the time blocking, but I did use it as a checklist for the day. And this is a good example of using it for memory keeping. So we went to see some houses that HGTV had remodeled in our area. It may not be important to you, but we thought that was kind of cool. And so we went to check them out, and I wanted to do a little memory keeping of that. I wanted to show this, and this sticker's from the Cat Collage Club if you're curious. This is exactly what you can do, or just write this. Just write, no idea what happened today, didn't feel like journaling today, or just leave it completely blank or put a smiley face. It doesn't matter. This shouldn't feel like a job just because you have a day to fill out. I know for some people that pressure is there, but I'm giving you permission, since I'm talking to you like you're my friend, just don't let that bother you. I think you need to see this as space for you. One of the things that you should know before you buy, I don't know how well it shows up on the video, but the May color is almost the same color as the paper in the background. For some eyes, this is probably totally fine. For me, I find this incredibly hard to see. So it's one of the things I wanted to mention while we're in here in the dailies. The other months are different. So if we flip forward to like any of the next months, the color is basically different each month. And so back to this, now you've got sort of a darkish blue, like a dark purpley blue. So that's very, very easy for me to see. Whereas this is a super pale gold on cream. I mean, I guess it's like this color, but it just blends right in with that cream background. So it's something to keep in mind, but it's only for the month of May. I'm going to summarize a few things that, again, I would want to know before I made this purchase. So one thing is, this is the A5 size. It looks like this. And it's quite big. I think a lot of people, it surprises people. So this is the Hobonichi Weeks right here, which I also use. And this is the Cousin. And so it's hefty. And then here's an above view. It is quite thick, and it gets thicker the more you use it, especially if you like to use it for memory keeping and adding, fun stickers and washi tape. It's going to get bigger and bigger as you use it. The larger size is what gives you so much flexibility, but it is a commitment, and that's something to think about. The format is a full year, and they do have both an April start as well as your typical January start, and I think there is sort of a bonus month thrown in there, but it's basically a full year format. And as I mentioned, it has the monthly, vertical, weekly, and daily pages. I want to talk about the Tomoe River paper, the paper that is in the Hobonichi Cousin. It is quite unique, and it has some things that you should know about it before making your purchasing decision. One of the things that's great is it is very fountain pen friendly. However, I want to talk about inks, bleed through, ghosting, and other things that you should be well aware of before you make any purchases. The paper is thin, and so you will see some ghosting. So you can see what's on this side, and you can see how dark it is. That was written with a fountain pen. And you go over here, and yes, you can see it a little bit. So if that's going to bother you, that's something to think about. But this is a medium nib. I'm using a medium nib fountain pen. A finer probably wouldn't show through. The ink type matters too. I'm using a fairly wet ink. If you were using an ink that wasn't quite as wet, that might not be as much of an issue. Also, I use this pen as well. This is a Zebra Sarasa Dry, and it does not ghost much at all. I use it quite a bit for like checking off these trackers, and it doesn't show through much at all as long as I don't press down hard. As you can see, this paper is pretty thin, and so that keeps the overall weight down on the Hobonichi. It's still hefty, but it does keep the weight down. However, if you press hard, which I tend to do, you will have, the impressions through the paper even more so than you would expect on typical paper. This is also a consideration with any markers or pens you use of any kind. You want to keep in mind what type you use. Water-based is best on this type of paper, and same thing goes for stamping. If you like to stamp, like I showed stamping right here, and I showed some stamping back on my daily pages, Versa Magic ink I can say for sure works. I can't talk to any other inks. Oil-based can bleed through, so that's another thing to keep in mind depending on whether you enjoy that or not. My advice is go to the very back when you have a new pen or marker that you want to test, and just do some testing and make sure it doesn't bleed through. They do provide a couple of extra sheets of grid paper in the back. And also, I have to personally say it is a beautiful writing experience, whether you're using a gel pen, whether you're using a fountain pen. It is just I would call it honestly a luxury writing experience. The paper is so smooth. It has that nice crinkle sound to it. If you're into stationery, you'll know what I'm saying. So who is the Hobonichi Cousin for? In my opinion, it's someone who likes both planning or needs planning and journaling or memory keeping or a lot of daily space to track or keep lists of items. Also someone who enjoys looking back, someone who enjoys going through what happened in their day-to-day life. Also someone who wants flexibility to do what they want, but with the structure so they don't have to create everything from scratch. If you're the type of person who only needs sort of minimal appointments, you don't need to track everything in great detail, or you don't need daily pages, you might be better suited to something like the Hobonichi Weeks, and I do have a video all about the Hobonichi Weeks if you would like to see that as well, or some other type of planner. Would I personally buy the Hobonichi Cousin again? Absolutely, I am planning to. I am getting ready to buy my next Hobonichi Cousin. What surprised me the most, honestly, is how much I enjoy using it. It is fun to use, it gets me excited about planning and journaling. It's just something that brings me joy. Do you think the Hobonichi Cousin is the right fit for you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And also, if you would like to see more about these daily pages and how I use them and 6 practical examples, definitely click on the video that's on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.